Okay, so to sell the effect even better, I wanted some particles to splash from the the laser beam, and maybe some sparkings from the laser beam. And for that, what I used was a particle system to do exactly that. So here I'm just creating the emitter, just a simple plane, and I made it orient or face the same direction as the beam. And this is going to be our those sparks that you see there, because I don't know, for some reason 2.8 doesn't render the particles correctly. So what I did is just create that triangle, single triangle, and also make sure that the emitter is parented to the beam. And now set up a particle system, and in the render settings, create an select object instance, and select the instance as that triangle that you made, that piece of triangle. That will be our sparks. Play around with the settings, the velocity. Also make sure it's being shot in the direction of your beam. So whatever direction your plane is facing, it may face in a different direction. Don't just go with the values that I'm adding here. So yeah, and also make sure that the start and end frame is at the same time as your beam. So when your beam is ejecting from the shooting out from the satellite, make sure that that's when your particles are emitted. And because we are in space, I also went to the gravity and reduced that so that the particles are floating in space a bit. Yeah, so now this is the results we are getting. You can also make sure that you can also turn on motion blur to get those particles to be more blurry and sail even better. So I randomized the scale of the particles a bit here, just to give it some kind of variation. And because I have motion blur turned on, those particles won't just look as planes; they will look as actual particles. So yeah, you can play around with the settings and see what you see what you like, and go with that. I don't know if I showed it here, but I also added a camera shake, a simple camera shake. So you just move the camera a bit and add some keyframes. So I also played around with the colors in the color settings. So I'm not going to talk about every step that I do here, because some of these are very simple and basic. So you can just go in and look at the settings that I'm using here, and play around with a variation of what you want, and until you get something that you like. Yeah, so at the point of shooting, animate the satellite so that it shakes a bit, to show that because of that power of the beam, it's being pushed back like an inertia force. And yeah, so here I just wanted to continue the satellite, the satellite's rotation on its axis, so that it has that smooth pan or rotation around its own axis, and it starts with that rotation and continues with that rotation. That's why you saw me going in the curve editor, because that gives you better control over the animation than just using these keyframes. Okay, after you get the animation you want, you can also play around with the different interpolations. So I changed from Bezier to linear to see how that would look, and I think I liked it, so I just went with that. If you want to know more about animation, you can just watch my free training series on how to animate things in Blender. Just go to the videos on my YouTube channel, and scroll down. You should find that those tutorials down there. Sometimes you'll see that Blender won't render the textures correctly or the shaders correctly. Just quit it. Make sure you have the project saved. Quit and then open back the project. Your textures or your shaders should render correctly again. You can see what we have now. Because of the camera shake and the satellite shake, we are getting that a good I don't know how projection. And so I wanted to add that explosion that you see at the end of the animation when the beam hits the planet, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. So what I did is went to Google and search for some lava textures, and I mapped this, or I used this as a texture for a UV sphere, and then animate the sphere scaling up, and duplicated those spheres into different objects, into different I duplicated those spheres a few times and scaled them up to get that animation. So this is what I'm doing. I just got that lava texture and connected it to an emit shader. And because if you have the bloom effect turned on, you should have that glow around the shader, as you can see there. So that will be a great explosion. And because the explosion is going to be far from the camera, it won't be, it will work. I think it will work. And so that's what I did. And what you're seeing me here, what you see me doing there is I'm deleting the position keyframes so that I only remain with the scale position. That way, when I move the objects around, it won't affect the animation. I will only have the scale animation, no position animation for this. So I can move these anywhere I want, and also parented these onto an object, into a single object that I can move around and position anywhere on the scene that I want. So I put this exactly at the impact point, as you can see there. And also make sure that you move the keyframes to where the beam hits the planet, so that you have that explosion like you see there. Also, I slowed down the explosion a bit because we are far from the planet, and because this is a really massive explosion, it will be as again, I was having some rendering issues, so I had to quit Blender so that it loads up the textures correctly. And if you're experiencing the same issues, do exactly that as well. Quit Blender and then open back again, and everything should be fine. Yeah, so this is what I have. And yeah, I was playing around with the bloom effect to see what I would get. And because before the impact, some of the explosion was showing off, were still visible. What I did, I went one frame before the impact, and then scaled all those spheres to 0 so that they're not visible in the scene, and then they only become visible at impact. Exactly what you're seeing there. So these are very nice techniques that you can add to your skill that will let you animate things easier. Okay, so that's what I did. Maybe let me show you the animation one more time so that you can look at it. And if you want the project files, you find them on my Patreon page, and any other projects that I've worked on, you will find them there. Also, you will be supporting me and enabling me to continue making these awesome tutorials for you. Yeah, thank you. See you next time.